it's your boy DJ Wolf here. I got a couple of things on my mind right now, but one in particular really under my skin. I may have to wait to talk about it later, but I think I should talk about part of it now. I just heard that a judge ruled, not a judge, actually, they said that they already ruled that the two officers that was involved in the shooting, killing of Tamir Rice in my hometown, Cleveland, they had already ruled them some time ago that they were found not guilty. But a recent ruling found one of the driver, I forgot, I think it's Goldman, I can't pronounce his name, but the driver was suspended, and the guy who actually shot Tamir Rice, Timothy Lohan, was fired. Now, let me tell you about the firing. Okay, that's bad enough. They didn't find him guilty for shooting Tamir Rice, but they fired him because they said that he wasn't honest when he filled out his application. Okay, and it was something to do with the fact that when he resigned at the other place, it was something to do about when he resigned at the other office before his 6 month what they call it, I guess the phase period where they test you to see if trial period. And he resigned before he before he left his other job. I think he was a deputy or somewhere out in Independence, Ohio. But anyway, I thought it was kind of real bullshit. Excuse my French, because I had, for lack of a better word, that he was allowed to be fired instead of convicted or put on trial, for murder of Tamir Rice. Because as far as I'm concerned, that's what my personal opinion. That's what he did. Okay, and the other guy was suspended because he drove too close up to him. Really. Now, that one, on some level, I could probably say, okay, he didn't shoot him. All right. But Loman actually did the shooting. And he just gets fired on a technicality. Meanwhile, his mother, Tamir Rice's mother, Samir, I believe, if I'm hoping I'm not mispronouncing the name, because I do want to make sure the name is pronounced properly. But in any case, with her, she was like, I'm upset that he didn't get fired sooner. Really? Your son was shot once in the upper chest, point blank range, by a careless ass Cleveland police officer. And that's all you got to say about it? And yet, look, and the news site posted like, oh, she had mixed feelings. I didn't hear anything mixed about her feelings in that write-up, in that quote. There was no mixed feelings about what that woman said about what happened as a result of her son's death. Not one. If anything, it was more like, oh, well, the reason why? Because she got paid to the tune of $6 million last year in the settlement by the city. That's why she wasn't mad. It's basically hush money. If you don't do any protests and put out Black Lives Matter against the city, we'll give you $6 million and you can keep your mouth closed and don't say anything else about it. Because basically, the $6 million adds up to nothing more than a gag order. Okay? Don't disrupt the city and we'll pay you. That's all it's about. I can understand the city not want to be disrupted, but at the same token, you have to understand, two officers, well, really one, the officer who actually pulled the trigger, literally got off on shooting a 12-year-old kid. They didn't even get that young boy, is what they call whatever they call it, they didn't give him a chance to actually put the gun down. He didn't fire on anybody. He didn't threaten to kill anybody. He walking around with a gun, and only thing they do, they pull up to him, rushed him, and shot him. He didn't even, they didn't even bother to say, hey, pull on the bullhorn and say, hey, stop. Young man, could you please put the gun down? And then check that story, because they were told, or they said the 911 operator did not tell the report that was reported by the caller who called in and told them that although the boy had a gun in his hand, that it might have been a toy gun. And I'm thinking, it's a 12-year-old kid. Why don't you at least tell him to put down the gun first? They didn't even give him this due process on that. Not at all. And I'm still trying to figure out how the hell did did the city get away with this shit? And this is what really pissed me off, because the chief of police, who is black, Chief Officer Williams, really, he kind of blew it off too. He was saying, well, we implemented the policy, so some people won't agree with you. That's not exactly what. But he said something on that level. I'm gonna try my best to get that story and read it to you, pretty much what was quoted, because it really ticked me off so bad. And I'm like, you know what? That's just another policy or another way for people to get away with shooting innocent black kids, man. Because really, for the most part, Tamir Rice, although this is my take, I'm not sure why a 12-year-old kid would be playing with a gun at all anyway. Any gun. But still, to sit there and blatantly kill a 12-year-old boy because of the assumption that he actually had a gun, and you didn't even bother to attempt to get him to put the gun down first, that's a violation of his rights, of his, of his due process, really. And here's my thing. Ohio, my understanding, is an open carry state. There's no concealed state. There's no concealed. That's my understanding. So I'm like, even though he was 12 years old, but still, that's my whole point. The kid was 12 years old. He was just 12 years old, And to be honest, I think that was a crime in itself, for him to be murdered cold blood without any due process of the law. They didn't even bother to go out and attempt to try to talk him down. They just, like I said again, it wasn't like he had. And if you see the video, you know what I'm talking about. He walking around, with the toy gun in his hand. No one knew if it was a toy gun or a real gun. That's true enough. But the officers didn't even attempt to try to get him to put the gun down. There was a similar shooting that happened in the district where it was a guy who actually had a BB gun, and they told that guy to put the gun down, and he refused. And then they shot him. That's different from you bum rushing a 12-year-old kid that you didn't even bother to tell to put the gun down. Totally different story. And people still got upset about the one out here in the DC area. But the guy should have put the gun down. When they told him put it down. I've seen incidents where, matter of fact, I was watching, if you guys ever watched the show Live PD on A&E, very good show. Matter of fact, one of the areas that they cover is not far from me, out in Southern Maryland in Calvert County. And boy, they have some doozies out there. Matter of fact, very nearby Calvert County, which is probably about 20 minutes, I think. Anyway, but that's one of the spots that they always do out there. And there was one that they did. I just watched it yesterday. Yesterday, the day before yesterday. No, it was yesterday. Anyway, it was over. They taped it over the weekend. It was a replay, a recent replay that they did, recent broadcast, and it was in Columbia, South Carolina. And the officer clearly told the young man to stay in the car. You know what this goddamn fool did? He get out of his SUV, trying to talk to the officer. When the officers tell you to stay in the car, stay in your car. I don't give a damn if you're black, white, pink, blue, with yellow stars. Stay in the fucking car. There's really a couple of reasons why I tell you to stay in the car. For their safety and for your safety. Probably consider the officers, most officers carry guns, probably for your safety. Seriously. You know? If they tell you to stay in the car, stay in your car, man. Don't get out. I've learned that for many, many years. I've been stopped by cops a number of times over the years myself. And when they tell you to stay in your car, you stay in your goddamn car. They tell you to get out the car, slowly, you do just that. You know, and I saw a couple of episodes a couple of segments of Live PD where people were getting out the car. You don't do that. But I do find it kind of odd that an officer can be talking to a white boy, and I've seen that too, where they just get right out the car and they don't say shit to him. I've seen it happen. But for y'all people of a melanated tone, you better, if they tell you to stay in the car, stay in that damn car. Don't get out unless they tell you to. And of course, get out slowly. If they ask you to put your hands up, put your hands up. Don't make no stupid ass moves. I mean, I'm just telling you for your own safety. Because that's something you have to learn to do more often. Every time I've ever been stopped by a cop, as long as I've been driving, which pretty much is about 34, 35 years. Whenever they told me to stop, I stopped. Whenever they told me don't make sudden move, I don't make any sudden move. You know? And when they ever ask me for license and registration, and I have been asked, slowly take it out. Or you can actually say, well, it's in my glove compartment. You're welcome to go in there and whatever. And have you call your backup and have them take it out. I'd be more glad to let the window down and they can take it out. Yep. And I won't move. Because first time I think in this area, I was stopped. I was on my way to work. And I was just stopped me. And I'm on a beltway. And they stopped me. I mean, I don't even think I was speeding that fast, really. And they stopped me on the beltway. And they asked me for my license and registration. But when they stopped me, I had both hands on the steering wheel. And they actually told me, so put your both hands on the steering wheel, which I did. And I've learned to do that that was back in like probably about 90, 89, 90. I was still probably in my mid-20s then. But even then, I learned when they tell you that, you do not play buffer. You don't play. You know? Because after all, you have to realize they're carrying the big stick. Now, whether you like it or not, but they are. They are. And you have to realize your life is at balance when you wander around them. Because they are already in train mode. I mean, not train mode. They're in ready mode all the time. So, when they're in ready mode, you better be in chill mode. You know? And that's the best advice I can give you guys on that. Because people are nuts out here, man. And I've dealt with cops with an itchy trigger finger. A cop actually told me that one time. He told me one time I got stopped at 88. And the cop told me, he said, if you had made one false move, I'd blow your head off. That's what he told me. Scared the shit out of me. And I was in the military then. I was like, you ain't got to worry about that, man. I want to live. That's the bottom line. It's DJ Wolf. But I think I'm gonna try to get some more details about that breaking story about the two officers involved with the Tamir Rice shooting back a few years ago. So as soon as I can get that information, I'm gonna go ahead and post another podcast on that and get you some additional information. I actually should go ahead and do a a live podcast tonight because I actually have a couple of stories, not just this one. I got one, a story talking about LeVar Ball and how he might have missed out on some big money. Yeah. That would have eventually helped his brand a lot sooner than later. But I can also say this. If it goes the way it should go, it still could pan out for him in a big way. But I'll get to all that a little later. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got for right now. Of course, questions or comments about what I just mentioned, for all to hear, at gmail.com, for all to hear, on YouTube, for all to hear, on Twitter, DJ Wolf online at yahoo.com, and DJ Wolf Live at DJ Wolf Live on Facebook. Alright guys, this is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say right now. I got more to say about this and other stuff on the back burner. I'll talk to you guys later.